This is the Despair 13, and welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks. Ish. I'm saying ish because it's not really going to be about the gameplay, it's mainly going to be about the future of the channel and, I guess, the next step in my life. Later today, I'm going to be going to a job interview for a full-time position. And that's scary for me because, A, I'm not used to working full-time. I just got out of high school, where all that was really required to pass is to show up, a pulse, a heartbeat, and good health. And occasionally food, but that's optional. Well, I say food as optional, I mean have eaten food as optional. And there's a bit of conflicting things. First off, there's a goal that I want for my channel. I want at least one video a day, every day for my channel. And I can't quite get that. I don't have the time for that. And many of you are going, well, why don't you just not have a full-time job? Well, that's because my parents, great people and all, but they seem to fail the point of I have my own schedule. And they continually throw it out the window. Hey mom, dad, I want to do this. Well, too bad, son. You aren't allowed to because I have something scheduled. You change yours. They have nothing to do with each other. Can't I just, do my thing and you do your thing? Oh, no. You have to do it with me because that's how I plan my schedule. Well, I planned that day to do what I want on my own. Well, too bad, I'm the adult. Change your schedule. Doesn't seem very adult-like. And the reason I'm bringing this up is next week, my parents are planning a trip to Utah to meet my aunt and uncle. And they've basically said, hey, we want you to go. My response, I don't want to go. Their response, too bad. My response, well, I guess it's too bad for you too, because I don't want to go. And yet I'm the one being called childish. Why? Doesn't do too well with, outdoors, Oh no, not the sunlight. And I don't like being around a lot of people. I like being in my own little world. And I tend to screw things up and anger people when I go outside of it, which is why I go into my own little world. And my opinions, well, I say my opinions, what I schedule is labeled as less important. And I'm not too big a fan of that. Long story short, I'm being told, you can't be an adult until you're an adult. What kind of logic is that? I want to grow up, move out, have my own job, have my own life, have my own schedule, but I can't do that without my own schedule. So the solution that my parents come up with, don't have a schedule. That's why I don't go out to people's houses. That's why I have very little friends. That's why I don't do much of anything. Apart from play video games, YouTube, eat, sleep, poop, repeat the process next day. Because I could have my next whole year of life planned. And it doesn't matter to them. Doesn't go along with their schedule, so I have to get rid of it, change it constantly. Adjust myself for them. Yes, I'm 18, I'm new to this whole adult thing, but I'm pretty sure being a kid isn't how you adult. I know, funny concept, but that they don't seem to get that. I have my own plans, I have my own thoughts, my own feelings, and I constantly get told, doesn't matter. They have their opinions, and that's all that matters. And I've tried to tell them, hey, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I am not going. And the overwhelming response to that is, you're going. Why? Because we think you'd want to go. And I think I don't want to go. And I think you don't want me to go. I think you want me there as some sort of, oh look, we're showing you we care. And it's not coming across that way. It definitely is not coming across that way if you haven't noticed my tone of voice. And so I'm stuck with a dilemma. Look for a part-time job and rarely have the time to record, video game, upload, that whole thing for YouTube, because I'm constantly being told by my parents at the age of 18, this is your schedule, don't make one. Or get a full-time job. Same thing with the whole YouTube, very little time for it. And make my own schedule. I don't win. I really don't win. The only difference is, the second one, I have to take a stand and say, no, not going on this trip to Utah. Because if I get called during that week and asked if I could show up the next day, I am not going to say no, I can't. Because I don't like doing that. I don't want to say, hey, I can always do this, and yada yada yada, get call or contacted. Say, hey, can you do this? No, I can't, sorry. Click. I don't like saying one thing and then doing another. And I'm not doing that. Yes, later today I have an interview, and I might not get the job, but I might get the job. And considering that I got called, said, hey, we've seen your resume, phone interview, went through the phone interview, asked to show up for a real one, there's a very good chance that I'm heavily considered. Meaning, as long as I don't get told to leave by the person who's going to be giving me the interview, chances are I'm gonna have a job. And I think that scares my parents, that I'm moving on, that I'm going to be able to think and breathe for myself. Oh my. And as sarcastic and backhanded as that was, like I was saying, I don't really have friends because I can't tell you what I'm gonna do in the next 5 minutes because they might have plans. And they don't tell me. The only reason they told me this Utah trip ahead of time is to get all my stuff in line. I told them no. They told me I am. But I guess that's just how parents are. They don't want to see anyone fail. They don't want to see their kid fail. And I'm not going to fail. That's the thing. I'm trying to succeed. And they're holding me back. I get that they're trying to be all good-hearted, good-minded, good intentions, but it's not how it's working. And I feel like after this recording, I'm gonna have to tell them, guess what, not going, tough luck. And I don't want to do that. I want them to understand that I have things planned. I have a schedule now. I am 18, and they don't want to acknowledge that. But that's just kind of how my life is, I guess. I mean, I would really love to have it, at least one YouTube video. Heck, I would if I could, I would have 2 videos a day. But I can't, because Either I'm at the mercy of my parents' schedule, or I'm at the mercy of work schedule. One, I don't have a choice. Another one, I do. But anyway, this has been the Desphere 13. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and share. It really does help out the channel. And hopefully I can get this whole YouTube schedule thing sorted out. Anyway, this has been the Desphere 13. Signing off. Bye.